Hi, my name is Christina and I am your librarian here at Christina's Bookshelf. And today I am bringing you Urijah. This is book number 10 in the Stone Society series by Faith Gibson, whom I'm desperately in love with. This is also kind of Banyan's story. This is MM, hotness galore and heartbreak throughout. We've been following these two for a while in the series. We know that Uri is just so angry with Banyan. We have no idea why. We don't have any idea what happened in the past. All we know is that it happened in New Orleans. And he will not forgive Banyan. And Banyan is so in love and just ready to mate and live their lives. So granted, the name is Urijah. It's also Banyan's book. We get a backstory on both. We get information on both. And there's a whole lot of stuff going on. If you like my review and you haven't read the first 9, that's okay. I mean, there's a build up and there's a backstory that's continually flowing, but you can read this one and pretty much be caught up and know what's going on. I do suggest you start with book 1 just because it's a fantastic series. I mean, what's not to like? You have an MF-MM mixture throughout the whole thing, and they're gargoyle shifters. Yeah, hot as hell. At the beginning of this book, we are at the brink of war. We are going after the King of Greece. He is the uncle to quite a few members of the Stone Society. He has wreaked havoc on all of these members, all of the mates. He is just a vicious being. Banyan gives something to Uri that he knows he wants, that Uri needs. And this broke my heart. I was in tears. I could not believe the sacrifice that Banyan made. Then we learned what happened in New Orleans. Let me say this. When I find out what happened in New Orleans, on one hand, I'm heartbroken. Like, that is really sad. On the other hand, I'm like, Uri, what'd you expect? In the battle, we lose members of the Stone Society. And once again, feelings are just going everywhere. I mean, from the moment this book starts, I was never just comfortably smooth sailing on my reading. It was emotions exploding everywhere. I mean, there were fun times and there were high angst times, and it was just, ooh. But it was never overwhelming to the point that I thought, I am gonna have to put this down and never pick it back up again because I can't handle it. So after this battle, the boys split ways. Banyan decides to go home, the home that he has always known, the home where he met Uri. His father sent him to his uncle's house when he was younger because war there was going to break out and he feared for the young man. So Banyan has never really known his parents. He's known his uncle, and that to him is his dad. So he's back home. He's assimilating back to that environment, different country, culture, people. The village that he's from is primarily gargoyles, so there's no secrets amongst very, very few humans, except for this one that's just kind of hanging around. She's very interesting. He talks to his dad, and he talks to this woman that helped raise him, and he talks to Yuri's parents, and he just kind of feels at peace until he realizes now he actually has to go home and visit his parents. Uri, after the funeral of a really good friend, decides that he's going to go home and visit his parents. So they're kind of like on the same path to discovery, but one's a little bit ahead of the other one. He's ahead of him physically, but not emotionally. They're both kind of still working through things, but it really takes them going home, going back to where they grew up. They were boys, having the memories, walking the paths, kind of to soak up for your senses, to remember, overload on the feelings. With the help of his family, Uri comes to a decision. He knows what he has to do. And I was giddy with excitement when this moment happened. In this book, we learn that Banyan has a sister, and she is the mate to somebody I've been dying for them to have a mate to. Like, I have begged and begged. I mean, I was pushing this hardcore as a reader, as like a fan. And at times she was probably like, shut up. And I was like, no. We get to see another couple kind of blossom and start working their way forward. We get to learn that others in the Stone Society are finding their mates. It's really a book about so much information coming to us. But if you've read the series, you're able to easily categorize it into what is going on, what is happening, where are we doing this. If you haven't read it, it might be a little bit of an overwhelming, but I think it'll be okay. So I am giving Urijah by Faith Gibson 5 stars because the emotional roller coaster was fantastic. The writing was great, getting to know the characters, their homeland, where they come from, the backstories. Everything filled us with so much wonderful information. And then we can totally see what's going on in the future, what's going to happen here soon, who's going to be next. So what I am going to do for you is I am going to leave the Amazon link down below so you can click and be on your way to fantastic greatness. If you've enjoyed this review, I'm going to ask that you give me a like. Leave me a comment. I love to interact with all of you guys, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I try to get something new out every Sunday through Thursday, but I generally never know what time, and that is the magic of the subscribe button, is that you will get a notification when I have something new for you. If you like me and think this chick's pretty awesome, down below I'm gonna leave my website, my Facebook page, and my Twitter. If you have a book or an arc you'd like me to review, you can request via website. If you're an author and are looking for a light editor/proofreader, you can also request via website. Urijah, book number 10 in the Stone Society by Faith Gibson, 5 stars. Bye. Hi, my name is Christina and I am your librarian here at Christina's Bookshelf. Today I am bringing you a 2-for-1 kind of a special. It's the first 2 books in the Music Within series by Faith Gibson. And so the third one just came out, which is Finding Me, and I'm gonna have a separate review for that later. But I wanted to bring you the first 2 books. And you're gonna say, Christina, Release Me was like one of your first videos on your YouTube channel. And I'm going to say, maybe it was, but it's not.